Okay, hypothetical situation. You're sitting behind your desk, you know, everyday life, doing whatever, watching a video, talking to someone, I don't know. And all of a sudden you find out, hey, I have to pee. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm kind of doing my thing right now. I'll go in like half an hour. I don't really want to go right now. Like, why would I go right now? I can go in half an hour and just continue doing my thing. So, you don't go. Several hours later, you find out that you completely forgot about the fact that you had to pee in the first place. And all of a sudden, you have to pee so fucking badly that you just, like, have to almost run over there in order to, like, not pee your pants. Does that ever happen to anyone else? Because it happens to me, like, almost every day. And I would feel incredibly bad if I'm the only person that it happens to. Because that might just mean I'm, like, the laziest person ever. And I don't know if I could live with that. Anyway, I have a UE battle here against a guy from Skype that I had yesterday. I'm using this team that I actually made quite a while ago. It's, I think, my first competitive team for Black and White 2. I got the #1 on PO with this as well as with another team. So it's pretty good. I just feel like it's kind of outdated, and lots of people, especially on the ladder as well, just know the team already. So I've actually never used it in a video before, though, so I figured I'd do that. This may or may not be the best way to showcase it. It definitely is not, for the record, but I don't care. This battle was too much for me to just not upload. So I go for Skull in the incoming Heracross. He actually makes a double switch here, predicting me, I think, to go into Crobat, while I go into Amoonguss expecting him to Stone Edge, predicting me to go into Crobat. So, yeah, I guess that works out for me. I think I can take a hit and just Spore something, so that's what I'm going to do. He actually goes for Volt Switch, meaning that he's probably choiced in some way. As I Spore the incoming Heracross, meaning it has Sleep Talk, meaning it probably is banded, meaning it's a big fucking problem. Because banded Heracross and UU, unless you have a Cofagrigus or Golurk, is bad news. I'm going to go into Crobat because I'm thinking, hey, what are the chances of him Sleep Talking Stone Edge and then hitting it on top of that? Like, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. And it hits, and I die, and this is where things just go downhill for me incredibly fast. I did not expect that to happen. I think I had someone calc for me, like, what exactly the chances are of him both sleep-talking it, which is obviously a third on top of the fact that he hit it, which I think came down to 26-point-something%, which is, you know, it sounds like a decent amount, but when you think about it, it's also a 74% chance of it not happening in my favor, which, you know, I think I should be able to count on every once in a while, you know? Like, that's a thing apparently not. I don't know. Bunch of switching happens. I actually make a nice double switch here, predicting Blastoise going to my Rotom H, and then I predict him to go into Rhyperior, predicting Volt Switch, so I go for HP Grass, which unfortunately does not work out. But I have to keep making plays like this. Like, I'm incredibly far behind after that Crobat play, and I need to make these plays in order to, like, come out on top again somehow, if at all, because I'm too far behind in order to really, like, not do that. Like, if I play it safe at this point, like, you don't play it safe unless you have an advantage, and I do not have an advantage or anything like that whatsoever right now. Just look at this right here. He makes a good play with Victini, U-turns, nothing I could really do about that. Gets a safe switch into Heracross, and I just have to let something die. Like, what am I going to switch into a Guts-boosted Choice Banded Megahorn without a Crobat? Nothing. And the fact that he's asleep makes it even harder because I don't know what he's going to go for, ever. It's crazy. It's impossible for me to work with right now. Luckily, I'm a stubborn motherfucker, and I go for HP Grass again. Like I said, I have to make these plays in order to make something happen, because if I don't, I lose anyway. So I might as well, you know? Like, if I play it safe, nothing's going to happen, and I just lose right there. So he goes into Rhyperior this time. Unfortunately, I do not kill. I come really close, though. But he stays in here, luckily. He lets me kill it, which, in my opinion, was a mistake. I mean, arguably, yes, he was at low health, and he couldn't really do anything at that point. But he would still stop me from Volt Switching around, which I'm going to be able to do now. So that's good. That's a good thing that happened for me. I'm still incredibly far fucking behind, but, you know, a good thing happened, so it's okay-ish. Not really, but, you know. I go into Amoonguss kind of hoping that he's going to not Mega Horn, or not get a Mega Horn at least, which he doesn't. He gets a Stone Edge and he misses, which is great. I go for Sludge Bomb. I am Specs, by the way, so that's going to do a very decent amount to his Victini. to the point where if I get a Brox at all, he's dead. He does have a Blastoise. I don't have a spin blocker though, so like it's not like that's gonna be all that great. However, if I manage to force him to spin, I could get a free switch in a Rotom, at which point I can start Volt Switching, because again, Rhyperior's gone. He let it die, so he can't do anything about that. So that's good. Rotom's specs as well, by the way. So like Rotom's Volt Switch is going to heavily dent anything that comes into it, as well as give me switch advantage. So it's a fairly positive thing. I kind of expect him to go into Blastoise. In case he doesn't, I'm just going to go for Rock Blast, just to make sure that like either that Victini dies, or, I don't know, I get some damage in, I guess. I don't really know. That wasn't really all that great. Now this pisses me off, right, what happened right here. I had not shown Protect. Protect is something not at all common on Rhyperior, until I started using it, and I don't know, it's still not really common whatsoever. So I'm thinking, okay, well, he didn't double switch the first time without knowing I have Protect, so he's not going to do it this time. But he does. And I mean, it makes sense to me that he did it. Like, I understand his thought process. But at the same time, if you plan on double switching at all, do it the first time. Unless you knew I had Protect. Like, that's just unfair, you know? Like, that's just, no. You can't do that. That's cheating. That's cheating, man. I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit. Not a fan. No, I'm just not. No. You're not fair. Okay. Anyway, I go back to Rhyperior and then go back into Amoonguss thinking, okay, he's not going to sack his Victini because it's his best way of dealing with my Amoonguss. So, I expect him to go to Blastoise. Instead, he V-creates again, either foddering Victini or predicting me to do this. I don't know which one. Either way, it was incredibly risky on his part, and in my mind, he should be the one playing it safe because he has the advantage. You know, on the other hand, I'm getting smashed, so, like, I'm not one to talk, of course. Like, he's doing great. I can't talk. I just can't. He lets me kill it, though, because, again, I am Spec Rotom with Volt Switch, and he has no ground type anymore. So, like, there's nothing he can really do there. Now, this, again, I have kind of a plan. I'm going to go for High Jump Kick. I know it's going to do about 50 to 55 to physically defensive Blastoise. So I can bluff the 2-hit KO and then go into my Rotom as he switches into Yanmega to take the High Jump Kick. However, he burns me, which sucks. I mean, yeah, it's like a 30% chance, it happens, but it still sucks. Like, it doesn't necessarily, I don't really think that mattered all that much, especially looking at what's going to happen later on, but that still sucked. So, you know, that's just me saying that sucked. I don't know. That just ruined my plan, which I felt like was worth mentioning. Anyway, I'm going to go back to Rotom. Again, the whole Volt Switch thing is going to be a thing. Unfortunately, this Heracross is actually going to live a modest Specs Volt Switch from that amount of health, which I can't say I didn't expect it to, but I definitely thought that there would be a chance of me killing it. I know Heracross has very decent special defense, so I don't know. I mean, it's not like it matters. I kind of need a miracle at this point anyway to still win. So what I'm going to do is hope for that miracle, pretty much. I'm going to go into my Rhyperior, go for the Protect and a Sleep Talk, and hope that I can stall him to the point where he wakes up and locks himself, and stays locked in a Sleep Talk without being asleep, because that's really my only chance at winning this. He Sleep Talks Stone Edge on the Protect, which sucks. I get the double Protect, and he wakes up on the same turn, which is great, because now he's going to be either forced out, or is going to be forced to fodder his Heracross by staying in and letting me do my thing, which is basically what I'm going to do. I don't expect him to switch, because if he switches out to anything, it dies. Blastoise included. So I set up Stealth Rock to ensure that Heracross dies upon switching back in later. Unless he gets a spin-off, which I highly doubt, because there's really not going to be a good time to, I don't think. So right here, I think we both just kind of derp completely. It worked out better for him in the end, somehow. I don't even know how that worked, but if I had Rock Blasted, something would have died. 100%. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I don't know why he switched either. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. That Yanmega would have been dead, and it wouldn't have made any sense whatsoever. However, I'm thinking, okay, it's Rotom versus Yanmega. This isn't all that bad. I can just take a Bug Buzz and kill him off. But he specs Tinted Lens. Worst case scenario. Absolute worst. And he knocks me down to 25 HP, and at this point I'm like, okay, it's over. My Rhyperior is max special defense, so I can take a Torrent boosted Scald, believe it or not, from Blastoise. I think that does a maximum of 90%. So I can take this and knock him out. But even if he doesn't burn me, he still has Zapdos. My Rotom is at 25 HP. All he has to do is lock himself in either HP Grass or Ice. Like, whichever one he has is going to be fine. Because at that point, it's just going to kill me anyway. But he doesn't burn. So I'm like, meh. I mean, I didn't really react to that. I'm like, oh, I didn't burn. Whatever. I don't care. He's just going to knock me out anyway. But, you know, I do have Protect. I might as well go for it and Scout, see what he wants to do exactly or something. I don't know. Maybe he's running HP Flying, which is a thing, so I don't know. So I go for Protect, just to kind of see what he wants to do. And he Heat Waves, and I'm like, what? Does he not have Hidden Power Grass or Ice or even HP Flying, which is stronger than Heat Wave? I don't know. I'm not going to complain, though. What I'm going to do is just go back to Rotom, go back into Rhyperior again, Protect again to, like, above 100 HP, so I can actually live a couple Heat Waves and knock him out with a couple Rock Blasts, if not just one. All I really need is 3 hits at this point, and I'm like, okay, I won this somehow. This is great. This is absolutely amazing. He is locked into Heat Wave, because apparently he doesn't have anything else to hit me with. I was too happy at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to see how much this Heat Wave does. I highly doubt he specs, because he had a Specs Mega already. He had a Banded Victini and a Banded Heracross. So this has to be Scarfed, which it is, I think. It does 60-ish damage, which is fine. I can take another one after I Protect. I could even take another one, miss a Rock Blast, get more leftovers and another Protect, and live another one if I need to. So all I need at this point is to not get critted. I could even get burned by Heat Wave and still win. Like, all I just need to do is not get critted by Heat Wave, which at this point sounds very unlikely. Like, I'm gonna fucking win this somehow. I pulled out a win. I don't even understand. This is crazy. I'd like to thank my parents. Oh my god, what the fuck?